I want everyone to stop and think about 3 profound moments from their life right now. Let me give you a few seconds. Now I want you to ask yourself, were these moments things that were planned and intentional, or did they just sort of happen to you? Most of us have this idea that moments are things that just sort of happen, but a lot of our most profound moments, things like our weddings, our first day on the job, graduation, retirement, they actually come with a lot of intentionality and planning. One of my favorite moments is college signing day, and if you're not familiar with this, this is where high school seniors who are interested in playing for the NCAA in football and college declare where they're going to be playing at in college. It's a really big televised moment where it's well attended, it's overproduced, and it's also totally manufactured. It's a good idea to create a really big moment like this. Some moments have less cultivation, and while watching college signing day, 2 administrators of a charter school in Texas had an idea. What if we could create a moment that was as profound for our graduating seniors as college signing day is? What if we could celebrate our graduating seniors like we do for professional athletes? So they created their own. They filled out a stadium where people will go on stage and declare where it is they intend to go study at college. It's this big ceremonious event where people bring their family and they kind of reveal in front of a bunch of strangers what they're going to do. But the point is it's manufactured. It's a moment that people kind of created intentionally. So if you want to create more moments, well, what goes into one? Research shows that they're usually made up of these 4 things of elevation, insight, pride, and connection, but I find it kind of hard to think about this and apply. So what I think would be useful is to talk about some specific ways that you can go about deliberately creating more and powerful moments. And the first thing you have to do is you have to consider emotional peaks. 95% of our day-to-day lives are completely forgetful. But we don't often think about creating those really peak moments. What we oftentimes think about is eliminating discomfort or making sure that we feel comfortable. We never really think about intentionally going for them, these big moments. So what I want to do is show you these 4 pictures of a hotel in California, and I want to ask you, how much would you want to stay at this hotel? What if I told you that this hotel was the 2nd highest rated hotel in all of California on TripAdvisor? And you would say, what? The Magic Castle Hotel does this by creating specific moments. So they have a popsicle hotline that you can call at any time of the day. And a butler will arrive with gloved hands on a silver platter, offer you a popsicle of your choosing. It's this really kind of profound and unusual, quirky thing that stands out in your memory. And even though 99% of your time is spent not using the popsicle hotline, that's what sticks out in your memory. It's what colors your interpretation. So a couple things you can do. First, earmark a budget. This is my budget on the left-hand side here. Do you specifically use, sometimes not rationally, to go for those peak experiences? Mutual agreements are also nice, creating peak moments for other people because they bind you to the agreement, and they also keep the novelty of surprise. When I asked you to think about moments, how many of you thought of a tangible purchase, like a physical item? Nobody. We acclimate really quickly to material possessions, but moments are things that we cherish more and more as time goes on. Spend your money on experiences, not things. And by the way, it doesn't have to be like an exotic vacation that you're purchasing. It can be something kind of quirky, it could be something that builds community, it can be something that you value. But go for the peak experiences. This is also why it's a good idea to take your vacation days, because giving you an opportunity to experience something will oftentimes increase your happiness and well-being more than increasing your income a small percentage point. The third thing is you have to uncontaminate your time. Uncontaminated time means that you're there in the moment and that other thoughts, things, ideas aren't sort of contaminating your present state. These are kind of a necessity of being in a state of having a good moment. So this was my experience in graduate school. And I can't tell you how many weekends I fucked up, vacations I never took, because all of my time was contaminated, even when I wasn't working. I was so busy thinking about work instead that I never really got a lot of opportunities. And it's a real learning point for me. So a couple things you can do. Number one, create a more structured work-life schedule. Employers and bosses are usually amenable to this, but the reason you create a structured work schedule isn't so that you are more productive. It's so that work doesn't contaminate all of your time outside of work. Meditation apps are also, and meditation in general, are also really good ways of being present in the moment. The fourth thing, build around milestones. So these are common things that people say are really profound moments for them. And I want you to notice that a lot of them happen at transitions in your life. These transitionary moments create really profound experiences for people because they involve this deep sense of psychological updating, of changing who you are and how you behave and what matters to you. When I look back, there are a lot of moments that I've had that I had an opportunity to build community and build a shared kind of space around. But there are lots of opportunities that I had, and maybe you did too, where you really failed at this. And this is also a learning opportunity and a chance to do better. Build community and build a space around your transitionary milestones. And the fifth one, practice courage. So raise your hand if you would like to live a life of courage. In a 2012 study of palliative care patients at the end of their life, the single most common response to the question, what do you regret, was that I failed to live a life of courage. It's not that people don't want to live courageously, it's that they maybe lack the practice. So small things, Larry David, thank you here, giving me the advice to engage in medium talk, or if it's a game like Truth or Dare Jenga that encourages you to be a little braver, a little bit more vulnerable, practice is needed so that when the time comes, you feel comfortable stepping up to the courageous plate. So I talked about a few different things here in my talk here. The takeaway message, though, is that we have this lay idea that moments are things that just sort of happen to us. This is not necessarily the case. They come with a lot of intention and a lot of planning. And that's a really good opportunity for all of us that are still here. Thank you very much.